Hello again. I want to now go over the Explore performance task, and this is my intro video about Explore to remind you of the things that we have discussed in class about accomplishing and planning toward the Explore. The Explore performance task is your opportunity to explore or investigate, research, an innovation that has an impact on a people group. So the sky's the limit. However, you need to choose wisely. I've got on the slide screen in front of you the overview of the Explore performance task from the College Board guidelines. We went over in a previous video where to find those guidelines, either from the course and exam description or the performance task booklet that has been prepared. And obviously, as we go through these different videos, you're going to want to refer to the directions and also have a copy of the rubric available. The Explore performance task is meant to have you investigate a computing innovation. That would be an item that uses a computer, and I would expand that to say device, because your phone is a computer, it is a device. A tablet is a device, a computer. It's really just semantics, but it doesn't need to, just don't think in your head desktop computer. Think device. Or it must use program code as a vital part, a necessary part of its functionality. So you're going to be turning in a computational artifact and a series of written responses. In this case, it's going to be 2A through 2E. Now, I want to go over my notes that we've taken and kind of refresh your memory just a little bit about that. So I'm going to slide some things into the screen. On page 109 of your journal, you took notes about the page number in the course and exam description, about where you would find information about Explore, the goal, and here are just kind of some basics that we have discussed. I want you to use a template grid to organize your written responses. Obviously, make column 1 or column, the first column A, skinny to hold the 2A, 2B, 2C, 2D. And this task has a 2E element. Write technically and to the point and use references to support your claims. You did not have to have references on your Create performance task. You will have to have those on the Explore performance task. The vital and important thing in getting ready to go into the Explore is choosing wisely. So what is a computing innovation? It must use program code or hardware or both, probably both, to function. Examples might be Google Glass, Snapchat app, really any app, an Apple Watch, HTC Vive, a drone. I would use a specific drone. I wouldn't just do drone technology in general. The Square reader for credit card. And then this is a new one that I've heard about, the Sleep Comfort mattress. Now the mattress itself is partially an innovation. Apparently the Sleep Comfort company has developed an app to go with their mattress. The mattress has sensors in it that detect how you sleep, how much you turn over, and then there's an app that you load on a device which gives you information or data about your sleep experience and tells you how to adjust the number settings on the bed. So that's kind of a cool one. A little bit similar to the Samsung refrigerator. The refrigerator has a camera in it, and you can connect that with a device to be able to look inside your refrigerator from away from home. There's also those new things for the doorbells, video cameras that if someone rings your doorbell, it alerts you on your device and you can video chat with them. So there are a number of new innovations that would be worth looking at and thinking about. Here are what I think are litmus test questions that you can ask yourself to determine if something is a good innovation. Does the innovation use data? Does it input, transform, or produce data that I would be able to learn about and discuss in my responses? That is just you must be able to drill down to data. And when you think data, you need to think about file type. Is it a signal? Is it a number? Is it a string data type? Is it a digital image that can be digitized and sent? So you need to go as low level of abstraction on the data as possible. It can't just be the square reader uses data from a magnetic strip on a credit card. What data? It uses an account number that it then reads from the magnetic strip. The account number that connects to Jill Westerland's credit card account is the data. So you got to get as low as possible. Think data type. The second thing to ask yourself is, can I find 3 published references about this innovation? And 2 of those 3 need to be since June of 2017. So it's got to be fresh. You got to pick an innovation that people are talking about and writing about, and they need to be credible references. The third thing is, can you identify a people group that this innovation impacts? So let's look at this list. Who might Google Glasses impact? Well, obviously you need to check the references, but I know that cave splunkers buy Google Glass so that they can wear glasses while they are climbing around in caves and capture video. Who uses Snapchat? The social media community who uses Snapchat. People who want to stay in communication with friends and family instantaneously. Who might use HTC Vive headsets? Well, gamers. So you've got to be able to identify a people group who are impacted by the innovation. And then the last thing I would caution you when you're kind of vetting your innovations is, if the innovation is not a true computing innovation, in other words, if it is a machine, for example, a regular mattress as opposed to the Sleep Comfort mattress, or a regular Timex watch as opposed to the Apple Watch, if what you pick is a machine and not a computing innovation, you are going to be limited to 1 point out of 8 on this task. And that is not what we want. So please choose wisely so that you're going to have the best foot forward in being able to do your innovation. The second thing I want to talk about in this setup kind of information is, I want to talk for a minute about what is an artifact, because in addition to writing information about what you learn about the innovation, you've got to create an artifact about the innovation. The artifact is going to be something I'm going to talk about in row 1, but you need to kind of pre-think it. The artifact is where you're going to want to show the purpose of the innovation, or how the innovation functions, or how the innovation impacts somebody. So you have 3 options of what you want to demonstrate on your artifact. But let's talk about what an artifact is. So here is my little picture of what an artifact is. An artifact is from the Essential Knowledge Statement 1.2.1a. It is created by a human, and it can be a program, which that would have been your create performance task, a graphic, an audio podcast, an infographic, a video, a presentation, a web page, a document. And there may be other examples, but these are just about 8 examples that fall. For the Explore Performance task, what College Board will receive from you can be a PDF document of 3 pages or less, a video file, and it has to be one of these file types, 1 minute or less, or an audio file, one of these 4 file types of 1 minute or less. So basically a podcast. If you wanted to make a presentation, say in Slides or Animoto or Prezi or PowerPoint, you could save the presentation as a video, and then you would be able to turn it in as one of these file types. So those are your options. So you can think about what you could do to represent. My recommendation to you is that you select an innovation that you can personally interact with, visit, or experience. For example, if you wanted to do Snapchat or Instagram as your innovation, then it would be a cool thing if you showed how to use Snapchat or Instagram and showed how they function. Maybe you make a little video of yourself Snapchatting with a friend or receiving Snapchats. Or maybe you make a podcast explaining how you Snapchat, and maybe having the sound of a Snapchat coming in and whatever noise your phone might make. Maybe you make a post or infographic about your Snapchat. So that would be a way that you could show that one. If you wanted to do, say, a Tesla car, I've had a student do that in the past in our class. He found somebody who had a Tesla car and went and met with the man and took photographs and interviewed the owner of the car and did his artifact, kind of like a show and tell infomercial about the Tesla car. If you wanted to do a device that maybe was expensive and you couldn't afford it, go visit the store that sells that item. So there are a lot of ways you can do it. You also could use photos and videos that you found online. You would need to reference those. And really, even if you do a personal testimonial, you need to reference whatever you're going to do. So I would tell you, when you're getting prepared to do your Explore Performance task, you need to A, choose a true computing innovation. Spend some time thinking about the data, the references available, and a group that it impacts. And then number 2, go ahead and pre-think, what type of artifact would I be able to make to represent this innovation in an effective way? So I hope you choose wisely. I hope you do a great project, and keep watching. We're going to have about 5 more videos for Explore going over A, B, C, D, and E about the task. Take care.